Hey, what's up, everyone? Back with another Penguin reaction. Just watched the newest episode, Cendani, which, they say that all the time in The Sopranos. And this episode is the Sophia backstory episode. So we finally find out what happened to her. So um, we pick up where we left off last episode. The Maronis attack them, and they kind of revealed Oz's betrayal. And Sophia learns the truth, and then when she's passed out unconscious, we get a flashback to what happened to her when she was in Arkham. So, or even before that. So, her mother died by supposedly killing herself. And this reporter points out that, hey, there's a lot of women who've died who worked at the club, the 44 Below, the club underneath the Iceberg Lounge. And Sophia starts to suspect that her father might have been the one to kill them. And when the father discovers this, he has her framed for the murders and sent to Arkham. Um, which it's horrible. It's Arkham Asylum. I have one kind of nitpick there, which is like, why is Arkham like this? Like, I understand like the portrayal of Arkham as this like horror insane asylum from like a 1940s B movie or something, but like this this takes place in like 2002, and they're still using like chains around them and electroshock, and it's like it's not clear to me why Arkham is like this. Now you might say that Arkham is under her father's control, and that's why the doctor lied and had her committed for 10 years. But I don't know. It really doesn't make sense for me to see have a place look like this in like 2002, which is when this takes place canonically. Like, we even see it takes place in the smartphone age. Like, it just no insane asylum would look like this. I understand they're playing to like Arkham as like it's historically it's this crazy, insane place like from the Batman Arkham games, but it just doesn't really make sense that it looks like that. I honestly wonder if it would. I mean, I guess they had to kind of commit because they also did that in the Batman movie. But like, if what if Arkham was a more like advanced, like, clinical, like modern looking hospital, but it still had that like very they're gonna electroshock you and like lie about you, and it's like it's almost worse to make it look modern, making it look like the classic old school horror asylum type. It almost feels a little goofy right now, and it would have. I don't know. It might have had the message sink in clearer, but again, they showed a little bit of Arkham before, and it was very creepy in the Batman movie. So I guess I had to just commit to that, but um, not a huge deal either way. We learned about why she was sent to Arkham. She didn't kill any of those women. It was Carmine. But why he did it that way, I wasn't quite clear. There's one other problem I had with this episode, which was the beginning. Um, it kind of really brushed past Carmine Falcone as a character, and I know he's not the main character. He's not. He wasn't even really a huge character in the Batman movie, but I would have liked it if we could kind of they rushed really into this. And I understand they only have 1 hour to tell the story, but I would have liked to see. We don't even see their relationship until Sophia actually starts to suspect him. But I would have liked it if we could see in a little bit more about their relationship, who this guy is. Like, I understand he's like a mobster and he doesn't respect human life or whatever, but why was he strangling these women? They didn't even say why he killed the mom. Maybe they'll say that later, but and maybe it might have been as simple as they got into a fight and he just wanted her dead and he strangled her and made it look like a hang job. It wasn't clear why he did those hookers. Again, maybe it's like a sex thing, who knows, but again, they're not saying what it is yet, but they might say in the future. But I'm just saying that, like, if it's just that he's a mob boss and he can kill women like Ralphie killed Tracy or whatever, then they don't need to make this elaborate like plot around it. Like, he could just shoot them and like just get rid of the body. And I also wonder that like he was so worried about this story getting out about these dead women, but like doesn't he own like Arkham? Doesn't he own like Gotham? Like doesn't he have all the judges and politicians in his pocket? Maybe you could argue that once the story got out, it might be too much of a force to keep him in. But like, if he can bribe judges and stuff to have his daughter committed, why is he so scared of this story getting out from this reporter? And why are the police looking into him when they're on his payroll? Sure, when the Batman comes and he starts bringing in like true justice, but like even in the Batman movie, it's like the cops, they're still working for that's the whole plot of the movie. They have to kind of uncover the corruption, but I just didn't know why he was so worried about that. And again, I understand it's just set dressing for let's get her into Arkham and then we can kind of establish her story from there. I found the way she resolved the whole thing. So she kills off everyone who's a rival to her, except for Johnny Vitti. She needs him still, probably for the drug thing. But she okay, so she has this. She goes to the dinner. She has this speech where she talks about all the shit they did to her, and then she ends it by being like, "I'm starting over fresh," and like she's like Centani, and it's funny because you think it's similar to that moment in Breaking Bad, Salud, which is a very similar premise, and you think that like she's going to poison all the people at the dinner there, but she doesn't. What she does is she like pumps in gas from the furnace, like I guess it's carbon monoxide probably, or maybe other stuff, who knows, but and it goes to the house and it kills everyone, including all the guards and stuff. And I was like, that kind of ruined the Chintani moment, because that moment didn't need to happen. They would have died no matter what, right? Like she didn't have to give this speech. And I understand it's for her character, but like you could do both. You could have it be a character moment and have that be the critical action that kills all these characters, just like they did in Breaking Bad. Now, one argument I could see people making already is that like, well, she had to kill all the guards too, not just the people at dinner. Sure, you can make that argument, but if we're making that argument, well, how does this house not have carbon monoxide detectors? Like this again, this show is taking place in 2022. This is not like it's not like The Godfather. This is not the 40s or whatever. Like this is a modern house with smartphones and shit. They would absolutely have carbon monoxide detectors, and it would have got caught. And little nitpicks like that don't bother me, but I'm saying that like, if we're going down the realism angle, that it kind of falls apart a little bit. So she might as well have just poisoned them with the wine, and then that Chintani moment would have been the critical moment that pushes forward the action and has character relevance, not just one or the other. I think that's a misstep on the show. Not a huge misstep. I'm not saying it ruins the show or anything, but like that would have made that her speech all the more relevant to the episode's like plot and climax. That's just what I'm saying. But other than that, I thought it was a solid episode. I liked it a lot. I liked her backstory. We barely see Oz in this episode except for flashbacks. I will say I thought his betrayal of Sophia was worse than it actually turned out to be. He just told Carmine about that thing, but I thought that he had legitimately conspired to have her sent to Arkham for some reason, that we would, and that's what allowed him to take over. But no, it's just he just told it to Carmine, and sure, it's a betrayal, but like I don't know, maybe they're setting up that he did want her to like, I don't know how he could have predicted that, but like she yelled at him and like put him down, and I'm wondering if that's the reason why he did it, or maybe it's both reasons. But I just thought the betrayal wasn't like, I thought he had like schemed to get her sent to Arkham for some reason, but no, they just he really isn't responsible for what happened to her, other than he told Carmine the truth about what she did. But it seems like they're playing it like, no, he didn't know anything about that was going to happen to her. So they're making Oz kind of a good guy a little bit, but it's fine, it's whatever. But overall, solid episode. I thought it was very good. I'm enjoying this show. I actually really like it. So We'll see where they go from here, but thank you all for listening, and stay tuned next week for the next reaction.